Hi everyone, Leslie Ray here with Tuesday Tutorial by Digital Delights by Luby Lou. And today I get to feature the brand new Halloween Treat Box set SVG files. And these are really super cool. Even if you don't have an electronic cutter, you can use these files as I will show you. So to do this project, you're going to need that. And then you're also going to need the Wizards and Spells paper pack, some cardstock, glue, double stick tape. I used some Wink of Stella for glitter, Spectrum Noir pens, crepe paper, foam tape, white charcoal pencil, and of course something to put in them like Twizzlers and miscellaneous candies. Now let me show you kind of what I'm talking about. You get files, and since I don't have a cutter, I have to hand cut mine, and so this is how the files come when you're going to cut them. Now I'm not going to feature this one today. I'm featuring some other ones, and then I have a sneak peek of a fun one that we're going to finish together as well. But this set comes with a little witchy poo, which you'll see a picture of her on the blog post. You'll see a picture of her, and like this is the hair, and this is the hat, and here's the face with the eyes. Now what I do is I cut them out and I flip them over, and sometimes when I'm hand cutting, if I need to, I will go along the edge with like a nail file or something to kind of smooth that rough edge so it's not so rough, and kind of helps move things along and makes it look like it was cut normally, okay, with a cutter. And then once I've got them all cut, I go ahead and color them. Now, sometimes I color them, and like here, I'm going to show you Frankie. Frankie is one of the digital images, and Frankie I colored, okay? Here's Frankie. He was printed all out on white. I don't know if you can tell, but he was printed out on white paper, and I colored him in completely with my Spectrum Noir markers. And then you can see I did some detail work with my white charcoal pencil. Now this is really simple. I just cut out all the pieces. They looked just like this. Flipped them over, and I went to coloring. And some of them, before I colored, I sanded, like I wanted the nose, make sure it was nice and rounded and stuff. And I sanded those just a smidge to kind of smooth that edge. Got him all colored, and then glued them together, added in my accents with the white, and he's finished. The box that is with this is using the Wizards and Spells paper, and the box template is also part of the package deal. I'm going to show you in just a minute how to assemble the box. We're going to put the pumpkin together, because doing the pumpkin I did a different way than I did this one. But this is how, when I do my witchy box, this is how I'm going to do her. I'm going to cut all this out, turn it over, color it with my Spectrum Noirs, and then glue it to my box. Now, in the directions it says to cut 2 of the Frankie face to put on here. And you can do that. It just depends on how you want to use him. I think he looks fine also with just 1. But if you wanted to, I would definitely do that. But when I did that, I would make sure what you see on the back is colored completely or backed with something else. So it's up to you. I think they look great with just 1 face and not having 2. But like I said, it's up to you. And I like my little stitched mouth, kind of cattywampus, like he's got a little smirk going on. I think Frankie is darling. Frankie is one of my favorite characters. Now, so don't want to do the witch, because I want to show you a different way to do it. The other way to do it is to cut all your stuff out with colored cardstock. And I did go ahead, and instead of cutting or doing brown again, I went ahead and colored my orange cardstock with the brown, and that worked okay. And I did cut out my eyes out of white and color them black. As you see, they were white. I colored them black. Now, I also have some jiggle eyes that I want to do this. Now, we're going to do this one like it says in the pattern and cut 2 of each. So, you will have 2 tall and 4 short pumpkins. And the way this works is when you put them together, The tall one goes in the middle, and the short ones go on the outside. Okay, so what I've done to prep these is I've gone ahead and pre-cut them, and then I went around the inside with a kind of yellow-orange marker to bring out the edge, and then I edged it with a little bit of brown. And I like that, and I use the same brown that I did to color in my stems, okay? And then my eyes and mouth are just black. But for my box, on one side, I printed my pattern, and then I flipped it over on the other side and printed my colored paper. And the reason I did that is because I can go with my ruler and my pencil, and I'm going to do this on a piece of cork so I can get kind of a little indentation. I'm going to go along this line, and I'm using blue so you can see it, but you could use a black pen or whatever color pen you want. For that matter, you could go on and print on both sides. And I'm creating a score mark. Now this is the easiest way to do a score mark if you don't have any kind of scoring tool. I have several different kinds of scoring tools, but the lines are already there for you to go over, and you can see it created just a smidge of a crease right there. We're going to go back over that in just a minute to help bring that out. But I want to go ahead and get my other crease. I'm using this piece of cork. You could use a piece of fun foam. You could use a mouse pad, whatever strikes your fancy to create your creases. And Wendy makes it super easy to make these boxes. All the boxes are made the same way. All you have to do is print out two of them, or two of the pattern, and you get a complete box. Okay? So, now that my lines are done, move this out of the way, and I'm going to fold in, and if you can't find your stick that you were creasing with earlier, which apparently mine has walked off, I'm just going to use the side of my pen. Excuse me. And when I do this fold, just for good measure, I make sure that these two line up here so that it's not like this, but that it's nice and flat right there. And this little flap is going to be my gluing flap. I'm going to do this again. Fold these. I'm going to fold in. Make sure I line that up. Now, when you're cutting your box, make sure you think about which way your pattern goes. When I build my pattern, this one's going to go all the way around. However, I chose this to be my pattern for my witchy poo when I cut her out. And I had to turn my paper sideways so that the witches went the right direction. So when I build my square box, my witches will go the way they're supposed to go and not the other direction. So think about your paper. If you're using a paper that has an image like that, you'll want to make sure it's going the right direction. And the neat thing about using this striped paper I'm fixing to show you is it is perfect for lining up. Look at this. Watch this. This will line up almost perfectly right here. Because I printed them the same on both sides. And you can just line them up and it looks like it's one long piece of paper. It's very cool. So, I love the stripes in this paper. Stripes and polka dots are probably my favorite patterns ever. And I love that Wendy always at least makes, when she's making paper, at least makes me one stripe in there somewhere. Okay, so now this little box got me really jazzed up. I'll show you in just a minute. And I would like to think I inspired the sneak peek one that I'm going to show you in a minute. And so this is simple. I just put glue on 2 tabs, and glue on the bottom, and my box is complete. How simple can that be? Now, if you're thinking about people seeing inside of here, you might want to do this with an orange back or something else. But I'm going to put some tissue and some candy in there, and nobody's going to look in there. So, the next part we want to do is get our pumpkin on. Now, this guy, what I want to do, I'm going to put the two shorter pumpkin edges here, and then his tall pumpkinness goes in the middle. Now, you can make this go out as far as you want to. I'm going to go about right here. So, I'm going to go and put some glue down on this one. And go. Put glue down on the other one that goes on the inside. And there we go. Now I want to make this kind of pop up a little bit, give it a little dimension. So I'm going to not go quite that far up. And now this actual pattern also comes on the cut file with a squiggly to use as your vine for your pumpkin, which works out well. For the cut file, it's in black when you have to hand cut it yourself. And I decided rather than putting that, I wanted to fashion a different kind of vine when I got that far. Okay, so I want to take my stem and add him into my pumpkin. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and stick him right here. Come out. Now, if you're doing together just a fall themed or a Thanksgiving table, and this would be perfect for that. You know, just make a nice little pumpkin, and then you could put some raffia, or I'm going to use some jute that I have, some brown jute, but just make a little vine and stick that on there. Now, if you wanted to, you can make a face also, which is what we're going to do. But I want to do both sides, and so you can see what the patterns look like with both sides. So here is this side. Notice using a simple white glue. It works good, dries fast, and which is good because sometimes I put that on the wrong side. There we go. Okay. And then this is going to be my back, so I'm just going to lay this one flat. I'm not going to worry about dimensionalizing the back. You could if you wanted to, but I'm just going to let mine go flat here. And then come back in. But I am going to make my stem go in the same direction. So now I have this. going on. See? And then we want to put on the face and nose. And so I want to add my pumpkin smile. And there's a couple of smiles or faces you can use. And I have been enjoying kind of making my face go off to the side just a little bit. And put my nose on. And here are the two eyes. But I'm going to add. Now we'll see what this looks like with or without the black around it. Let's see what you think. That's with the black around it. Or instead, I think it kind of needs the black or bigger jiggle eyes. These are the biggest jiggle eyes I could find for right now. So put our little eyeballs on here. And you could be done there, but I want to add in my jiggle eyes. So here we have two little jiggle eyes. And I like them kind of in the middle like that. So, love this. Okay, so now I want to show you something too cool. Like I said, saw these and I was so inspired to do one other thing. So hold on to your hats because this is going to be so cool. It's a cauldron. And this cut file, of course, comes with the box, comes with the cauldron with its little feet, and the trick or treat, okay? And then it comes with two Witchy Poo legs with boots, and this Fabby room. So let me show you where we're going with this. I have this great crepe paper, and what I want to do is I want to, I'm going to do it twice the width of the box. And excuse me. If you don't have wide crepe paper like this, get you a couple of strips of just plain old crepe paper. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to take my double stick tape. This is what is the best thing about double stick tape ever, and I know you want some too. And I'm going to, it's a brand new roll, excuse me. Sometimes brand new rolls can be problematic. Okay, here we go. Get all of the tape there. I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to go in here along the inside of my box and along the edge of the cauldron right here. I'm going to trim that right there. Okay. Okay, you see it? It's right there. All right. Now what I'm going to do is take my piece of crepe paper, and I'm going to squinch it up like this so that it fits here in the box and it's going to stay right where I want it. And sometimes it's easier when you're doing this to stick it down over the edges and kind of move it around a little bit so you get it the way you want it. Okay, and you can make her move in a little bit if you want it to. You can make it fan out a little bit if you want it to. I want it to fan out just a smidge. Okay. So I got that going on. Now, you want to stick into the bottom of your container, unless you want to just fill it full of candy, which we can do that too. I think I'm going to fill it full of candy. I've got some little minis here to stick down in here. Okay, probably went too many here. Alright, so I got some minis going on. Now, I could just stick in here my broom, but see, it's kind of heavy because you get the 3 pieces, and I've cut it so that it stacks up and it looks real nice and dimensional. So what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm using because this is what I have right now. When I go back into the store, instead I'm going to get some get these wrapped. But look what I've got here. I've got some yummy, good for my tummy licorice. And if this was wrapped, I wouldn't worry about it so much. And people at my house would just eat it because they're crazy like that. And this is just double stick tape. But I'm going to put some double stick tape down, and I'm going to attach my piece of licorice to it. If it was in the plastic bag, it would stay. So we might need to put a little piece of masking tape to hold it up here. Or if you wanted to, I guess you could use duct tape, but no. Don't use duct tape. I didn't say use duct tape. You didn't hear me say use duct tape. Okay, here's her broom and the cauldron. Okay. And then we're going to put her feet sticking out as well. And so, again, I'm going to add some masking tape to this to help this along. Down at the bottom here. You could also, if you are worried about your receiver, whether they like licorice or not, you could use some Halloween pencils or something, or you could just use plain old sticks. I'm going with the licorice since that was the original idea, and I do know that they make individually wrapped licorice. So, or you could hot glue it on. I don't want to hot glue that because at least with the masking tape, I know where my masking tape has been. I would be okay with possibly eating it later. But okay, so we have 1 shoe, 2 shoe, and the skirt. Is that not the coolest thing ever? I'll take some good pictures of it standing up so you can see it. But isn't that too funny? We have our very own Halloween cauldron where the witches dove in. I think it's classic. I think it's fantastic. So I hope you enjoy that. And please come again for another Tuesday tutorial. And have fun creating Halloween treat boxes. And please buy the SVGs. Don't be afraid to try them because they are in all kind of styles for all of your favorite cutting needs, be it, you know, having to cut it out by hand or whatever you need to do. So, thank you. Come again. Have a great day.